Welcome back to Car Fandom, the place where machines meet emotion and design meets obsession. Today we're stepping into the world of British royalty, but not the crown and robe kind. This is pure automotive nobility. The Aston Martin DB12 S 2026 version isn't just a car. It's a symphony of power, luxury, and precision that redefines what a Grand Tourer should be. It's the car for people who believe style and speed belong in the same sentence. When you first lay eyes on the Aston Martin DB12 S, it doesn't whisper luxury, it roars it with grace. This car marks the next evolution of Aston's legendary DB bloodline, carrying forward everything that made its predecessors iconic while rewriting the definition of performance GTs. It's a perfect blend of brutal strength and British finesse, the kind of car that doesn't just get parked, it gets placed like art. The front design is an event in itself. The classic Aston grille has grown slightly larger, more assertive, flanked by sleek LED headlamps with razor-like precision. The hood lines stretch out like taut muscle fibers, flowing into a body that looks alive even when it's standing still. The DB12S looks like it was sculpted by wind, not drawn by designers. Every curve serves a purpose, and every surface catches light like a mirror. That famous Aston Martin badge sits proudly up front, but this time it feels more like a declaration than an emblem. The new DB12S has a presence that commands attention, part James Bond sophistication, part British brute. The proportions are textbook perfection. Long hood, tight rear, and a stance that hugs the ground like it was built to own the road. From the side profile, the DB12S looks athletic and composed. The flared arches house stunning 21-inch alloy wheels wrapped in Michelin Pilot Sport 5S tires, built specifically for this car. The character line running across the body feels sharp yet fluid, a hint of aggression under the elegance. The side mirrors sit like small sculptures, aerodynamically designed to cut drag while still complementing the car's sleek proportions. Walk around to the rear, and that's where things turn dramatic. The slim LED taillights stretch across the back, glowing with a red pulse that looks futuristic but familiar, like the tail of a jet cooling down after flight. The rear diffuser sits bold and purposeful, housing the quad exhaust outlets that promise symphonic violence at the push of a throttle. Even the Aston Martin lettering, stretched elegantly across the rear deck, feels like jewelry. The DB12S is not just about aesthetics, though. It's a technological masterpiece wearing a tuxedo. Underneath that artful exterior lies an engineering powerhouse. The car packs a 4.0-liter twin-turbocharged V8 engine, sourced from Mercedes-AMG but tuned to Aston Martin's own symphony. It churns out a mind-bending 671 horsepower and 800 newton-meters of torque. Yes, you read that right. This British masterpiece just went full beast mode. Power is sent to the rear wheels via an 8-speed automatic transmission, fine-tuned for both brutal acceleration and silky smooth shifts. The result? The DB12S rockets from 0 to 100 kilometers per hour in just 3.4 seconds, with a top speed north of 325 kilometers per hour. That's not just impressive for a Grand Tourer, it's terrifyingly fast, especially when you realize it's wrapped in the kind of comfort that could make a 5-hour highway drive feel like a spa day. Aston Martin didn't just make the car faster, they made it smarter. The DB12S sits on a re-engineered bonded aluminum chassis that's 7% stiffer than before, giving it sharper handling and more confidence in the corners. The adaptive dampers, part of Aston's new intelligent suspension system, adjust in real time to road conditions, letting the car glide over bumps one moment and grip corners like a race car the next. The steering has been recalibrated too, faster, more direct, and full of feedback. You don't just steer the DB12S, you guide it like a precision instrument. And with multiple drive modes, GT Sport, Sport Plus, and Individual, it can transform from grand touring comfort to an unleashed animal with a simple twist of the dial. And then there's the sound. Aston Martin has always understood that a car's soul lives in its exhaust note, and the DB12S doesn't disappoint. The deep burble at idle, the rising growl as revs climb, and the crisp crackle on downshifts. It's an orchestra of combustion. You don't listen to it, you feel it reverberate through your chest. Step inside, and the drama doesn't fade. It intensifies. The interior of the 2026 DB12S is nothing short of breathtaking. It's a masterclass in craftsmanship, blending old-world luxury with cutting-edge technology. You're greeted by rich leather, hand-stitched to perfection, covering nearly every surface. The seats are sculpted for both comfort and grip, offering that perfect grand touring posture that hugs you but never confines you. The cabin layout is unmistakably Aston Martin, symmetrical, driver-focused, and intoxicatingly elegant. The center console features a crystal-clear infotainment display powered by Aston's new in-house operating system, ditching the outdated Mercedes UI of the past. The screen feels responsive, intuitive, and seamlessly integrated into the dash. Wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto come standard, of course, but the real joy is the way everything feels tactile. The metal dials, the knurled knobs, the satisfying click of each control, it all feels engineered to perfection. The digital instrument cluster behind the wheel is customizable, offering crisp graphics and minimal latency. You can toggle between classic analog-style dials or modern sport layouts, depending on your mood. Even the ambient lighting has been fine-tuned to elevate the experience. Soft glows of golden white flow through the cabin, giving it that signature Aston warmth that makes you feel at home even at 300 kilometers per hour. And while most sports cars sacrifice comfort for speed, the DB12 S doesn't compromise. There's plenty of legroom, headroom, and adjustable support, even for taller drivers. The sound insulation is exceptional, but Aston has engineered just enough of the engine's note to filter in, so you're always reminded that there's something monstrous breathing just ahead of your feet. Let's talk about details, because that's where the DB12S shines brightest. The leather upholstery comes from Bridge of Weir, the same Scottish supplier used for Aston's finest interiors for decades. The stitching can be custom-colored, and nearly every trim surface, from the dashboard to the door panels, can be personalized with Alcantara, carbon fiber, or polished with veneers. The Bang & Olufsen sound system is a masterpiece in itself, with strategically placed speakers creating a 3D surround effect that can make even silent sound beautiful. Even the driving ergonomics have been fine-tuned. The steering wheel feels smaller and sportier, the paddle shifter is now metal instead of plastic, and the start button sits like a jewel waiting to ignite your senses. It's all about creating that seamless connection between driver and machine. But don't think for a second that Aston has forgotten about safety and tech. The DB12S comes equipped with adaptive cruise control, lane assist, 360-degree cameras, night vision, and collision avoidance systems. It's not just luxurious, it's intelligent. You can drive across countries in total comfort, with the car assisting you subtly without ever taking away control. Now, about performance on the road, the DB12S is more than numbers on a spec sheet. It's about feel. The moment you turn the key and the engine fires up, you know you're about to experience something visceral. The car launches hard, but never violently. It builds speed like a jet, effortlessly, relentlessly. The suspension reads the road like Braille, adjusting instantly to keep the car flat and composed. You can throw it into corners, and it responds with precision, poise, and absolute confidence. It's a car that flatters your skill, but still demands respect. Push too hard, and it'll remind you it's not a toy. It's a 671 horsepower beast with manners. But once you learn its rhythm, it rewards you with handling so intuitive, it feels like telepathy. On long drives, the DB12S becomes a true GT. The cabin quiets down, the suspension relaxes, and the car cruises with effortless grace. You could drive from London to Monaco and step out without feeling fatigued. That's the magic of Aston Martin. It's fast when you want it, calm when you need it, and beautiful every second in between. Now, the big question, how much does this British masterpiece cost? The Aston Martin DB12S 2026 version is expected to start at around $250,000, though once you start ticking those customization boxes, bespoke paint, interior detailing, performance packages, the final figure can easily cross $300,000. But for that price, you're not just buying a car. You're buying presence, heritage, and performance rolled into one perfect machine. Each DB12S is hand-built, not mass-produced. It's crafted by artisans, not assembled by robots. That's why every car that leaves the factory carries not just horsepower, but soul. It's that combination of mechanical excellence and emotional craftsmanship that makes Aston Martin stand apart from every other luxury brand. The DB12S also symbolizes Aston's new era. With electrification on the horizon, this might be one of the last great pure combustion GTs, a farewell symphony for petrol-powered passion before the brand transitions into hybrid and electric models. It feels like a celebration of everything that made Aston Martin an icon: beauty, sound, power, and emotion. Visually, if you were to imagine this car displayed in a pristine showroom, polished marble floors, golden light glinting across that glossy white paint, it would look like a piece of moving art frozen in time. It's the kind of car you don't just drive, you stare at it for minutes before getting in, because it deserves admiration. The Aston Martin DB12 S 2026 is what happens when a brand refuses to let technology kill passion. It's not trying to be a hypercar. It's not pretending to be an EV. It's proud of what it is, a brutally fast, gorgeously made, unapologetically loud grand tour. It's for those who still believe that driving should stir the soul, not just the sensors. So if you've ever wondered what perfection looks like on four wheels, the answer isn't a futuristic electric pod or a silent AI-driven cruiser. It's the Aston Martin DB12 S, loud, elegant, powerful, and alive. It doesn't just move, it inspires. That's all for today's deep dive on car fandom. If this car doesn't make you fall in love with driving again, nothing will.